stronger investment in the arts and the culture and and the things that bring people to Richmond today. Um, I think Richmond's history is kind of like its thing. People kind of are just that capital of the Confederacy thing has kind of like lingered over the city forever. And in recent years, the arts and culture have been the thing that people come to the city for. So like letting that take the front seat is my idea of like rebirth. I consider myself just a creative man. Like just communicating ideas however I can. Art was primarily it, and it's evolved into anything that I can use as a tool to bring those ideas to fruition. Just I see myself as kind of like a piece of the puzzle of what Richmond is creatively. Like the city has a long history of like arts and entertainment and culture, and I'm just another part of that tapestry. Art is all I ever wanted to do, and my entire life up to the point has been me making decisions that will lead me to being an artist. Being myself and leaning into the things that inspired me, um, even if it didn't make sense at the time. It's like those were the things that inspired me to like make the things that I make, so I would include them in my art. Art is like it's of the people. It's like sure I'm making it for myself, but once you set it out into the world, it's for everybody else to kind of like give their own meaning to, and we all like share experience art the same. Like you go to a party, we're all dancing to the same song. You go to a movie, we're all laughing at the same jokes. We're all, you go to a restaurant, we're all eating the same food. Like we all participate in art collectively. So like making things in service of community helps like the art grow, like individually and as a collective. So there's gonna be plenty of times where you just like it, things aren't clicking. Um, and you don't know if it's going to work out for you, but you got to just keep going. Like there is no like one path for everyone. You kind of have to just figure it out as you go, but quitting is not the option. So I think the biggest thing in recent memory was me forming All City Art Club. Like up until that point, I had just been making art alone. Just like art is a very solitary practice. Uh, and I had just been like in my little corner in my bedroom, just making my art or whatever. And the decision to like link up with a bunch of other like-minded artists to do whatever we were trying to do has been the most impactful thing for my career. And just like my outlook on art and everything. It was deciding to form that collective that changed everything for me. Yeah, it feels good to finally see. Um, Sometimes you kind of feel like you're talking into the ether, like you're just an old man yelling at the clouds. And when you realize that people out there are actually listening to you and identifying what you're saying, it feels good to just know that, let alone even be called forth to like speak on behalf of everyone. So, yeah, it's definitely like feels good. Don't jump out the window thinking like I'm gonna make it as an artist and you haven't done any work to kind of set yourself up as an artist, but also don't shy away from the desire to be an artist. Like you can work your job and make art, and if you're smart about it, you can find a way that art becomes your job, even if it isn't necessarily like if you set out to be a rapper and then you end up being an agent or a lawyer or whatever, like you still in the field of music. Like that's always an option. And I kind of stress to people that art is simply like a gateway to whatever it is that you want to do. Like you can be like, everybody doesn't have to be the actor. You could be the costume guy. You could be, the set designer. You could write scripts, what I mean, whatever, but you can be in that world. So when you think about art as a whole, um, don't ever lose that desire, that spark for it. Just figure out the way to like be involved in it until you get to that point that you want to be at. But investment, man, that's kind of like the thing that I've seen everywhere. Like I've been to all the places I've been. Um, there is a just a straight up like appreciation for art that is followed up with support. People are like, yo, that's cool. I like that. Let's figure out how to like put some money behind that or use that because that thing brings people to our city. Like I've been to Detroit. There's like so much investment in the art there because they understand that like the music and the art are the things that people come to that city for. I've been to Miami, and I'm like, the entire world goes to Miami every year for a week for Art Basel, like the entire art world. Um, and I feel like there's like a lack of that here. Like people know that this is an art city, but it's almost like an afterthought. It's just kind of like almost like a marketing ploy more than it is an actual like piece of culture. It was like Mending Walls was happening, and I knew of people, and we kind of talked in passing. But all the other like black artists that were in the festival, I would just go to their walls and post up. Like, are you painting today? Bet I'm hanging out, and just like forming those relationships. And we're all trying to achieve the same thing. There's no reason why you got to go at it alone, and we can just work together. The community is there, but there's no sort of like that infrastructure thing. There's galleries everywhere here, but how much access do we have to them? There's studios everywhere here, but they're beyond what any of us can afford. Like there's nothing. It's we can see it, but it's still out of reach for like the average person trying to like be an artist. And that like I was going back to that collective thing. Like the only thing that kind of like helped in that sense was like we had each other to lean on. Because before we was just like in our own little corners trying to make it happen. The Richmond Mural Festival, when like all this street art culture and all of that, like the Venn diagram of like skate culture and sneaker culture and the music and all that stuff, like all of that stuff existed long before it came to Richmond. So I was aware of it all. So when the Murals Festivals started happening, they were painting all over the city, but they wouldn't come to Southside. And I would walk up and down Hall Street every day, and it's just like tire shop, abandoned warehouse, abandoned store, whatever, tire shop. And it's like, yo, there's walls everywhere. Why they won't come out here and paint? And I just talked to the homie one day and was just like, yo, we just gonna do it ourselves and just scrounge up whatever paint money we had, painted our first mural, got a little attention, started applying for grants and stuff, and got lucky and got a grant. And that grant was like the start of our collective. Like it was like $10,000 and we painted everything we could paint that year on that $10,000. And I was just like, because I was just tired of seeing so much art being made, but people like us not having any access to it or no opportunities to participate in the making of it. And the arts wasn't reflective of the people that were like living in the city because all the people that were painting it were coming from outside the city. It's like, this is cool that it's here. I'm a fan of all these artists, but none of this art speaks to what we're going through here. So that was like the straw that made me like, let's do this on our own. I feel like a lot of the art that's being made is made by people that live here and love the city. So you probably have to spend some time here to like fully get it. But it is an art made in like community. I would say that. Like there's a very healthy sense of community amongst all the artists. We all know each other. We all talk, and that's probably like the thing that I enjoy the most about the art community here is that we all know each other. There's like a strong sense of like camaraderie amongst us. So yeah, and anybody coming to the city like looking to get involved in the art scene, I would tell them like, don't be afraid to just jump in because everybody's here. They're willing to like talk to you and engage with you. I think there needs to be more collaboration between some of like the business side of things and the artists, because we know we eat at all the restaurants, we go to all the festivals, so we know what's happening. I think there's back to what I said a minute ago about art just kind of being like a marketing tactic, and people, instead of people recognizing it as like a thing, like it's actually like a live, breathing culture. Um, and I think with like since the pandemic and this like loss of third space, um, like if you go outside, you're gonna have to spend some money to be anywhere. And I think we need to get back to, specifically amongst like black businesses and black just culture as a whole. Like it's very, like you got to be amongst the people. Like I say, like we all dance to the same music, we all dance to the same, we eat the same food, whatever. Get back to like that sense of community and reestablish third space, and art could be the thing that does it. Like everybody comes out for the mural festival every year, so why not bring the restaurants into that? Everybody comes out for a Black Restaurant Weekend, so why not get the artists involved in that? Like, let the artists, I don't know, design some T-shirts for the restaurants or whatever. It just needs to be more collaboration,